Oh, you can't hear me either. Crap. I was muted this whole time. Damn it, me. Oh, hello, Tia. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing good. That would explain some things. I'm over here just muted. Woof. How you doing? Just woke up. Tea is nice. Oh, excellent. Excellent. It's always a pleasure to see you around. We miss you, Tia. We miss you. Oh, space dragons. Space dragons. Oh, and yes, I was sitting there. I was sitting there whining about Kitsiri for a solid, like, 2 minutes. Realizing, and I just realized no one could hear me. Yeah, Reggie, they broke her. They've broken her. She's been broken. Now she's just lazy. Dragon bussy. Gotta get that dragon bussy. That dragussy. That dragussy. Man. Here, let me put on. Let's see if Pretzel will cooperate with me. If they'll cooperate. What I should do is like super early morning streams, just for you, Tia, just for you. Oh, do I not have? Oh, I don't. You're okay. But, because then you could get all like the gemmies, and you could get like the different avatars. I feel kind of bad. Tia. You support me so much. I try to include you where I can. Where's my audio capped? Aha. Oh, that's not right. The heck is it? There's audio capture, there's voice mod. I don't care about that. I'm doing nonsense that I really shouldn't be doing right now. Sound clip, no. Where is it? Oh, 3 shifts. Oh, sleeping or working often during stream, no matter what time. Oh, I'm sorry, Tia. I'm sorry. There's gotta be a way. There's gotta be a way. Pretzel, go to pause. Paste it. There it goes. There we go. There we go. The art bills. But just like then you could. I need to find a way for participants who are not like because I'm doing these giveaways. I need to find a participant, like a way for participants to participate that they can't make streams. I need to think on that. There's gotta be, because you know, not everyone can sit there and make like 20. What was it? I think I said 24 hours of stream for the requirements. Actually, I guess I can check real quick. Where's my stream elements? All right, where are we? Where are we? Loyalty leaderboard. That's what I want. Watch time. Was there not a... I feel this is not correct leaderboard. Oh my god. It's capturing all the dang the bots. That's not great. How many minutes is, hold on, calculator. So what, 24 times 60? Yeah. I'll need to think on that. I know Stream Elements has like a giveaway function that I need to figure out how that works. Okay, I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab some beverages. Okay. And we back. Just in time, as it looks like everyone's ready too. All right, perfect. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Zoomy Yumis. Oh god, which button is it? Resume? Yes, no. Slam that yes button. Here we go. We back.
Hey.
Hey.
Welcome back, everyone.
Perfect.
Hello.
Now with, everything's working again.
Nice. Well, that's very good to hear.
So, if I can just interject here, since the DM was away and we've all been talking.
Oh.
Yes, I had to get coffee.
Coffee. As you do.
Narcellis remembered suddenly that he was a drow.
It's like, wait.
He could cast darkness. But before this, he's going to pause in the doorway and
Bless
just turn on his heel very slowly to look behind him. Just directly behind him. And stare at the Gloomstalker in the room.
Rush has just been standing quietly, observing the group. And as you turn to look at him, Narcellis, you see he's standing his usual posture, very straight-backed, hands behind his back. And he has a very faint smile on his lips.
Motherfucker.
1 second.
Resh just was like, oh, this is gonna be funny.
Narcellis just
suffer.
puts both of his hands on his hips and lifts his mask up after a moment and just says, Falah Zatost, you go do it.
And Resh looks at Narcellis, still looking incredibly amused, and just responds to him in Drow. All you had to do was ask. And before you really have a chance to respond, Resh seems to almost melt and vanish into the shadows.
Oh my god.
Narcellis just says, I hate that guy.
Yeah.
Taffy's like, I keep forgetting he can do that.
Yeah.
Ari will just say, oh, well, go ahead.
No, what is Ari gonna say?
Well, Ari's just gonna say, do you really hate him? I mean, if he knew what was happening, that was a little rude to know.
He absolutely knew. But Narcellis, at the same time, is going to cast darkness. About in the center of the room.
Okay. Let me
A little bit further, about like right here. 40 feet in.
Right there? Okay.
Just in case the box moving sets anything off.
Okay. I have to figure out how the hell I'm drawing a circle.
How do circles? That's right, they changed all the tools, didn't they?
A little bit.
How big?
Some of it's kind of weird. Well, it has a 15-foot radius, so I'm just starting it over here to... 15...
Shit. Oh, God.
Oh, there's so many circles.
Circles.
Is that 15 feet?
No, I wanted you to use the ruler so I could measure it.
Oh. Oh, come on. 30. And... Okay. So that's your darkness cloud.
Yep.
Is about there okay?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Alright, so you cast darkness, and for those of you with dark vision who are able to see into this room even as little as you can, the little that you can now becomes even less, as almost the entire back half of the room is just enshrouded now in this deep darkness that even your dark vision cannot see through, almost completely obscuring the farthest back two statues. And you hear, after a moment as you're all standing there, you hear something like wood or metal scraping across the ground as you see
No.
as you see the chest moves from the corner within the darkness cloud.
Michelle's just like, why doesn't he just open the damn thing?
Well, he probably knows they're going to shoot him if he gets out of the darkness to open it, I guess.
That's fair, I guess.
I hope there's something good inside of it.
At this point, it would be, Lolth's, I don't know. It just seems like something she'd do to have, like, I don't know, a spider corpse in it or something.
It's fair, but I mean, this is Veyron's temple. I don't think he'd really let Lolth do something like that, would he?
No, but I hope it's not a mimic.
Oh,
Just have Taffy open it. They want it's a mimic and it just eats him.
and let's see. Here, give me just a second. Gotta figure out what the heck is in here. Okay. So after a few minutes, you're all kind of waiting there very anxiously for Resh to reappear. Perhaps not really anxiously, but a little impatiently as well. And you just will hear a quiet voice from behind you all just say, "I've retrieved your items."
Oh, God! Can you announce yourself before you do that?
No.
No.
Oh.
And he'll
Happy, go and get your whatever the hell it is.
Thank you, Resh. I appreciate it.
and Resh will hold out 3 different items to you.
Oh, okay. I thought gotcha. I thought he brought the whole chest back.
No, he did not bring the entire chest. That would have been funny.
It's like, here you go.
But no, he'll hold out to you 3 different items, or maybe technically 4. But the first item he gives you are a pair of boots. They're made of black leather with faint designs on the sides of them, kind of, how do you describe it with leather? Like kind of carved into the leather, I guess, or
yeah,
something like that. Designs that appear a mixture of like elvish yet drowic as well, with sharp angles and points all within the design. He also gives you oh god. Hold on one second. He also hands you what appears to be at first you think it's just a stick that he's handing out to you, or just this very small, short cylinder made out of wood, made of a very like dark wood material. And as you kind of get a closer look at it, you see there's actually faint spider web carvings that kind of run all the way up and down this item that he's given over to you. You're not even sure what to call it exactly. And the final one, I am waiting for Bela to help me out with here.
I'm getting it. You're gonna have to give me a second. I gotta find the perfect thing.
You're okay.
Thing?
Oh
boy.
I hope you love it.
Oh boy, I'm a little afraid.
I'm a little afraid.
Oh no.
I'm scared.
You see the last thing he gives you?
You're welcome, Taffy.
Oh boy.
The last thing he gives you.
Uh-huh. Yeah?
Is an umbrella. But not
Perfect.
not just like a regular umbrella. This umbrella is fairly small. Like if you fanned it out, it's maybe only about 3 to 4 feet in diameter. And rather than being attached onto a pole or a cane of some kind to hold on to it, it's instead attached to a sort of headband.
What?
As if it's perhaps meant to be worn on top of your head.
This is tough.
So he's like looking over the boots. He's like, oh, that's pretty cool. He looks at the cylinder, like, oh, that's even cooler. And then he looks at this umbrella, and he cocks his head to the side, and he just kind of grabs it. And he's looking it over. He's like, and he looks up at Resh. Are you this isn't a joke, right? This isn't a prank.
Shellis just whispers, it doesn't even rain here.
Resh will say, I can come and bring you the entire chest if you'd prefer, but that is all the items that were inside of it.
And he kind of looks at everyone. Kind of turns to his right, turns to his left. He puts the boots down, and he kind of puts the like he holds out the cylinder, like, if does anyone want to like look at this real quick? I'm gonna hold on a sec.
And Ari will kind of speak and say, "What? Oh, maybe the magic items." He's trying very hard to not laugh at the moment.
Yeah, I was just gonna put it on and see what it did.
I support this.
Like, oh man, I can't wait till this obliterates my ability to stealth. So he pulls his hood down, and he very slowly, just in case anyone wants to interrupt him, he's gonna very slowly put it on his head. He's not gonna have it open. He's just gonna put it on his head.
And you do. And now you are Tabaxi with an umbrella hat on top.
He's sitting there.
Do anything?
He's waiting for something to happen.
Well, not putting it on. I mean, you never know if it does something else. But just putting it on, Taffy. It doesn't do anything. But you kind of get like this weird tingly feeling on the top of your head.
It's like, huh?
Maybe it needs to rain.
I was kind of hoping.
Maybe.
No, I feel like this is a joke. Like, who makes something like this?
You can never be too prepared for the rain.
Well, Yuvari and Narcellis, can't one of you detect maybe what sort of magic is in it or what it might do.
Oh, I was really hoping to just let him find out, but sure, man.
Fair.
Yvari, why don't you give it
I
a...
kind of want to see what it does.
Me
God.
too, man.
I love how Taffy's just the let's see what it does. Give it to Taffy.
Actually, Taffy,
Yeah.
can you step back a couple feet?
Oh.
Sure. So he'll just walk into the middle of the room over here.
A little further.
Okay.
Oh no.
I'm so scared.
Tell me when to stop.
Right there, right there.
Okay. Oh boy.
How much health does Taffy have right now?
Enough. He has enough. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh
And,
no.
Marcellus is gonna kind of put his hands together and he'll start like winding them around, and you kind of see him like mutter something under his breath, and this sort of like wet surface starts to appear, like this wet orb between his hands, and he's going to cast this.
Oh
Listen,
boy.
we
Taffy?
are detect magic old school style.
So how does the water form?
A
Oh, man.
wall.
A wall.
Okay.
So-
Like on top of Taffy?
No, it's gonna start about right here. He wants it to be more like a wave. To just
Oh.
go that way.
Who's 10 foot tall? Oh my gosh.
Okay. Taffy, please make a strength save.
Whee! So you see, he sees like, whoa, wait, what? And then he just gets swept under this thing. You know, I'm just gonna fail my strength save.
Okay. You're gonna take 7 bludgeoning damage, and as you watch as Nershellus channels his anima, and you just see water beginning to condense and form on the ground, and slowly it rises and rises and rises into this 15-foot wide, 10-foot tall wave of water that just slams into you, Taffy. And as it does so, you feel your feet go out from under you despite trying your best to stand up against the waves, and you're knocked back about back here with the water.
And Marcellus is going to use his bonus action with this, that he can teleport. And he's just gonna show up about right here and just kind of bend over Taffy.
Who's now like just soaking wet. He's just like, he's coughing a little bit, coughing up some water. And he's a little delirious. He's like, did anything happen?
Yeah, you should keep wearing it, actually. That was amazing.
Oh, what did it do? I didn't see.
Even
Hurry!
what?
That thing lit up like a firecracker, Taffy.
Oh. Oh, that's really cool. So when I'm like hit with water or something, it like gets brighter as he's trying to pick himself up.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know how that could be super useful. I suppose, like if it rains.
In the dark. And he'll just look back at the group to see if anybody's going to rat his ass out.
Rush isn't saying a word.
Bro code.
Yuvari's just chilling. She's vibing.
She's like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, this is great.
Likewise.
This is funny.
Likewise.
And then he just
Raiders.
turns his gaze to Ethan. And he quirks a brow.
She really looks like she wants to say something, but she's trying to get everybody on her side, so she's gonna remain quiet.
Oh, this is perfect. This is glorious. So
Like, you know, Taffy, I think I know why Ari is so upset.
huh? What?
What?
I mean, clearly we're not gonna encounter a whole lot of rain down here in the Underdark. I think that Ari's just jealous because it looks so good on you. You should let him wear it!
No,
Do you-
I'm fine. And Ari immediately starts walking away.
Taffy's just quizzically confused. You know, he kind of had the wind knocked out. He's a little. He's confused. He's wet. He's a little shivery now. He's just. He's kind of like shaking himself. It's like, can we figure out what the boots and the other thing does? But is there a way we can do that without me having to wear it?
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to, I guess, take the boots and cast Detect Magic on it.
Okay. And then also, Yuvari, I'd like you to give me a perception check.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to step away from my computer for a bit. Let me go back real quick.
No worries. So let me see. Can you just put Detect Magic in the chat again for me? I'm sorry.
So you need a perception check?
Yes, please. All right, natural 20. Also, Bayla,
Yes?
can you just put? Oh, you did. For some reason, I was not seeing Detect Magic at first there. Thank you. Okay. So Yavari, when Rush had handed over the items at first to Taffy, you noticed that the kind of cylindrical-looking object that was decorated with carvings of spider webs on it, you can't help but notice that it looks almost exactly like a sort of wand that you've known some spellcasters sometimes use as like a focus, seeing as you were usually around a lot of them in Idfu. Just to kind of point that out to you. And Narcellis, as you cast Detect Magic on the pair of boots that Taffy has given you, you see that they do indeed glow. You notice that the glow is like this kind of grayish, almost black color, almost more like there's shadows clinging to them more so than they are glowing with magic. And the School of Magic. Hold on, I have to find the right one here. It's actually. Let me see. But you can tell that whatever enchantment is on these boots comes from the Evocation School of Magic.
Shadow boots, love it. And Narcellis is going to kind of eye them, especially interested. And he's going to glance at Taffy in his umbrella hat. And he's going to say, you know, these are kind of interesting, actually. Tell you what, you let me take these, and I'll give you 4 platinum.
Oh, if you want them, you can just have them. That's fine.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, you're giving me the nice little sparkly hat, so, you know.
Yeah, I really am. Yeah, sparkly hat.
What if it does something else?
I have that wand right there, real quick. A little wand.
Oh, the wand thing?
Well, let's say it was. Yeah, let's say it was given to Taffy. It's just so that you notice that it's a wand that he was given.
And,
got you.
Nershellus will reach out to, again, cast Detect Magic on the cylinder.
Okay. Yeah, you... Well, actually, I think just casting Detect Magic will just kind of work on everything around you.
Oh.
So you don't actually have to cast it twice.
Okay.
Because, yeah, it's just if you sense anything within 30 feet. So, yeah. So you take a look at the kind of cylindrical object that was handed over as well. And this one glows with a sort of greenish aura around it. And the school of magic of this one, you can tell, is conjuration.
Ooh.
I'll just say, I have no idea what this is. I know it's got spider webs on it, and it makes me a little uneasy.
It's called a wand. Certain spellcasters use it.
I know what a wand is. I just didn't think this was one.
Huh. Well, it is one.
Taffy's just messing with it in his hand, and he's like, "Oh, well, does someone who knows how magic works want it?"
Yavari looks at Nershellus
So he's
and
like,
then, like, casually reaches out her hand.
it's like, I would prefer not to wear anything with spider webs on it, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah,
know
that's
what?
yeah, that's fair. That's valid. Yeah.
But-
And so Taffy
yeah.
goes to hand it over to Yavari, and he stumbles a little bit. You know, he's making squash noises. He's got water in his boots. Hands it over.
Thank you. And she's like twirling it in her hand like a baton.
Well, if everyone's finished, I would like to see about delivering Arca's little package over there.
Oh, yeah. We should probably do that.
Speaking of Yavari, I'll need to keep your dagger for a little bit longer.
Okay.
I'll give it back.
I believe you.
And he will just move out of the room.
But yeah, I'll wait
Nice.
for move us as a block.
Oh,
Yeah.
block move.
Oh, there you go. Excellent. So you all head out of the chamber. Arca still carrying the corpse over his shoulder. As you all make your way back into the main altar room. Thankfully, now the Vault of Glittering Night is completely silent now that you seem to have explored everything within its halls. As you all make your way there, however, we're going to cut away briefly.
Uh-oh.
Back to the city. I'm gonna use this one. So, Yulia.
Yes.
So, earlier in the day, after awaking from a night of rest, you found yourself still feeling unwell. You had kind of felt it setting on the night before, and you're not sure if it had something to do with maybe something you had eaten, or maybe you caught a strange whiff of incense passing along one of the roadways. Either way, as your friends departed to the Vault of Glittering Night in order to try to find one of the components Balar needed to repair the barrier, you stayed back in Resh's manor with Nielkish, the princess. So now, you've probably regained enough of your strength after laying in bed for a while longer. So what might Yulia want to get up to? Is now you have this entire manor to yourself, as well as the city beyond, for that matter.
Okay, so she kind of woke up. She made a valiant attempt to get ready, and then as she was attempting to braid her hair, she just kind of gave up and just let it fall and let just everything fall. And when Nyalkish came together, she, explained that she would have just said, I think whatever is happening today, I need to sit this one out. So after she would have left, she would have just kind of just sat there, and she would have probably been stewing for most of the day. Because when she's alone, she thinks about a lot of things. And currently on her brain is just everything that is happening. She's just kind of going back in series of events, trying to piece everything together. And after a while, she was just kind of just not having it. She stunk out. She can't think anymore. And then she turns to the lute that she would have kept nearby, and it's equal parts, a sense of warmth seeing this because she wasn't expected to be gifted to her, but also a wave of anxiety of just, it's been so long since I played one of these. And literally and she's thinking my entire battle style is tied to my music. I need to figure this out. So with a newfound resolve, she will just kind of get up, not caring. She's still kind of in her PJs. Takes the lute, and she is going to find the library in this manner in hopes of maybe in some understanding that Resh has an interesting habit of just collecting things. Maybe there is some sort of book on music in the library that she can kind of get find something to remind her how to play this thing.
All right, very well. So you go out of your room you'd been staying in and decide to begin poking around the manor, trying to find a library or maybe just some collection of books. As you figure, surely he has to have some books somewhere here. And as you kind of peruse and explore the manor at your leisure, you eventually head downstairs and pass through a few rooms, and opening one particular door that kind of leads off to the very side of the manor, you do open it into what's a rather cozy, not quite library, but more akin to a study. There's not really like a large desk or anything in here, but there are rows of bookshelves along the rather circular room here. And there's a couple of tables pushed off to the sides of the room against the walls, kind of making enough space in the middle for moving around or doing whatever one might need to do. And it's in here, with a book in her hands, looking at it with a very quizzical expression on her face, is Nyalkish. And she'll look up at you as the door opens, and she'll give you a small wave in greeting as she says, "Oh, hi, Yulia, are you feeling okay?"
She is very surprised upon opening the door and seeing Nyalkish sitting there, but she softens, is like, oh, okay, this is a friend, and she'll just kind of go, yeah, I am. What, you didn't go with the others? I had assumed everyone was out doing something or another.
Oh, well, I thought about it, but I thought it might be better for someone to stay here with you, I guess. And you see she reaches up and returns the book to where it was before on the shelf. And a couple of people in the party said I should probably stay behind anyways, so I figured it'd be okay.
Oh, well, I really appreciate that, Nia. Thank you. What were you reading?
Oh, well, I was more just kind of looking at what he had, but, seems everything's in Drowic, which is definitely not a language I know anything about.
Oh, that might be a bit of a problem for me, but, well, since, you can't really quite decipher it, do you want to help me look for something?
Yeah, what were you looking for?
I'm not 100% sure exactly what I'm looking for, but as a start, if you can find anything with reference to music, specifically lutes, specifically any diagrams showing where your fingers are supposed to go for specific notes, would be fantastic.
She nods in understanding and kind of looks about at the bookshelves along the walls and says, well, I guess I can look. I don't know how successful I'll be, but we can definitely take a peek.
Two eyes are better than one, so we can cover more ground that way.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead and roll then a investigation check for me.
Okay. Nice.
Ooh, 23. Nice. So you look about the library, you and Nyalkish both, and perusing over the books, and everything that you find here is written in what you assume to be Drowic. As it all, looking over all of the books that you do, it's all appears to be the same language from what you can tell, and you can only assume, being in the Underdark, it must be Drow. That being said, you do happen to pull off a book from the shelf that has inscribed into the spine of it what looks like the symbol for some sort of stringed instrument. And so, excitedly, you open the book, thinking perhaps you found something to, help give you a little insight in how to play the lute, only to find that a couple of pictures that seem to have been drawn in here of Drow holding the instrument that this book was written for. It appears to be an instrument much larger than a lute, with almost 10 times as many strings attached to it.
Oh. Well, I at least recognize what it is, but that is definitely not what I am looking for. I say this out loud with like a kind of defeated sigh.
And Yolkish will kind of look over and walks over to you to peer at what you're looking at. And she'll say, oh, I'm sorry. I haven't had any luck finding anything either. But, I mean, maybe we can, I don't know if the fade is still going on, but, there were a couple of bards, like, back in that one tavern we stayed at, and there's always, like, a lot of music playing. Maybe we could ask someone? She seems very uncertain about that answer.
And I close the book, put it back in its place, and I kind of think for a moment. Well, I don't know exactly about asking, but I think if I can at least see finger positionings, then I can work it out.
Yeah, exactly. So we can try that.
Okay, I'm gonna, and I kind of look down, seeing I'm kind of still I'm not in anything presentable to go out in public. And I just look at her and say, I am going to go get changed. Meet me back in the main entrance. If you have anything else you want to get, and we can, I guess, walk around. Maybe we can make our way back to that tavern, see if anyone's playing.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll meet you over there.
Okay, and I rush back, put on the new garb from last time, leave the hair down, make sure my weapons are armed, loot on my back, anything else, everything's great, good, and I rush out to meet her.
Excellent. So yeah, you meet up with Nialkish, and you both head out into the street in front of Resh's Manor. And here I will go ahead and swap back to Mithranve with not that music playing.
Too happy.
It's too happy.
And of course, the first thing that greets you as soon as you walk out the front door is the large and ever-present Doret Manor, taking up almost your entire view in front of you. The street before you all seems, about as busy as it usually has been. But you do notice that as you walk outside today, the light shows that have been going on every day since you guys had arrived here don't seem to be currently taking place. You don't see any sparkling colors in the sky or any other, magical conjured dragons, shooting fire breath into the sky in colored lights. But regardless, you and Nialkish begin to head down one of the streets, just hoping to either make your way back to the tavern you had stayed at, or perhaps find at least some other tavern to go into, or maybe some other bards to meet. And then go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Okay.
21. Nice. And as you make your way down the street, kind of keeping your eyes and ears peeled for anything that might be of interest to you, you do happen to hear, as you're kind of about to turn down one of these little side streets, you do hear music drifting through the air.
Can I tell if it's a wind instrument, if it's a string instrument, if it's drums, if it's a combination of either or?
Kind of a mixture of, you hear something that sounds probably like a string instrument of some sort, sort of being plucked upon, and you do also hear like a wind instrument kind of going in harmony with it. As you kind of turn your head from side to side, attempting to find the location of this noise, your gaze can't help but be drawn upward to the large hole in the barrier that currently sits above the amphitheater that you and your friends had been the day before. And you can see from where you're standing, even though the top of the massive cavern Mithranve sits within, most of the top is shrouded in darkness, you can still see movement from up above the city. And Nialkish kind of seems to notice it too, as she'll just quietly say, do you think there's, like, monsters that are gonna get into the city without the barrier?
Hard to say. You don't really know what's out here, but that's still a pretty considerable height, so unless something can jump really high or fly to it, I don't think anything's gonna just walk in. So we should be okay.
I guess so. It's just, I don't know. It's nerve-wracking almost.
It is, honestly. This everything about what happened at the theater and now this, it it's too much of a coincidence. Something can't help but feel like this was just all planned somehow, but I can't make heads or tails of what or why.
I mean, and she kind of drops her voice very quietly to say this. My mother used to tell me that the Drow were, I don't know, that they would kill a lot of people, but why would they want to kill so many of their own people?
Hard to say. I mean, we saw at the theater, they're not necessarily afraid of dying, but the people who do, they're willing for it. This was just unnecessary manslaughter. And I don't understand how or why.
Yeah. She just kind of like lowers her gaze back to the street as the two of you continue onward. And you find yourself pulled into what appears to be a tavern from the looks of it on the outside. You see the front doors, as a set of double doors, are propped open, and the music you had heard is drifting from within. And so you approach with Nyalkish very close to your side. As you come into this tavern that's very dark in color. Most everything in here is made of like dark wood or black marble, and you see it's mostly populated as one would expect with mostly drow, with a couple of like dwargar mixed in. You see maybe one or two tiefling over in one corner of the bar area. And coming inside, you see that the music you had been hearing is coming from a pair of bards situated at one end of the tavern that's a little more opened, a couple of tables shoved out of the way to give them some room. And you see the two of them are playing away at, one looks to be playing a flute of some sort, and the other is holding is indeed holding a lute. Doesn't quite look the same as the one that you yourself play, but it looks rather similar, at least in the number of strings on this one and the relatively same size, as he's plucking away and singing some song in Drowic that you can't understand.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I kind of put my hands together and in a delight, and I look. Is Nyalkish taller or smaller than Yulia?
Well, how tall is Yulia?
I think she. Oh God, hold on, let me pull up the sheet. I can't remember. 5'4".
Okay. I think Nyalkish at the moment. Gosh, I don't remember. I don't know. I think I'd said it to you at one point. Bela, Nyalkish's height, was she like taller?
No, you said she's the same height as Narcellus, with 5'7".
Okay. So yeah, she is a few inches taller than you are.
Okay, so I look up at her and I say, all right, so we are going to find a spot or a table very close to the stage where I can look at the playing of the well, I'm not exactly sure what he's playing, but it is close enough for our purposes, and I am going to treat you to a drink or a meal or whatever it is you would like. How does that sound?
Okay, that sounds good.
Excellent. Onwards.
And you do manage to find a seat relatively close, but you at least have a fairly clear shot at the bards as they are playing away at their song. And go ahead and give me another perception check, we'll say.
Okay.
A 14. All right,
Yes.
and you eventually someone comes over to your table, drow man, and doesn't seem entirely fond of the two of you at first with the look that he's giving you, but does take your order, thankfully speaking in common, though as shaky as the conversations may go between you all. You order drinks, you order some food that sounds like it might be at least okay to eat for the both of you with your surface dweller palates. And the entire time you're watching the bards as they play, particularly the one with the stringed instrument. And you take notes of how his hands are held and the way his posture is as he holds his instrument aloft. And you're fairly certain, given that you both sit there for a while, that you'd probably feel fairly comfortable to at least hold your own lute, to probably begin at least practicing to learn the muscle memory that would be required to play a new instrument. And
Yeah,
Oh, no, go right ahead.
Yeah, so Nyalkish will see me intently like zoned in on the hand. It specifically like what fingers he's pressing on to make certain notes. And she'll see me holding up my left hand to match the way he's holding it, and kind of murmuring like letters like G, E, A, like as she's connecting the finger gesture to the notes that she's hearing.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, so you do your best to kind of mimic along with him. And it's by about this time that all of a sudden you hear what sounds like screaming in the distance coming from outside.
Oh.
And you see Nyalkish sit up very straight in her chair as she looks over very nervously at you.
Is it inside the tavern or is it outside?
It is coming from outside.
And how does it sound like? Is it like in distress? Is it just a surprise scream? Like, what's like the tone of it?
You can't really be sure. You just do hear multiple people screaming.
Oh, it's not just one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, does anyone else notice this? Is anyone else reacting to it at all, or is it just us?
You see a few other people kind of look up, a little odd or nervously, but almost everyone kind of seems to ignore it and go back to what they're doing. But then everyone does seem to begin to go quiet, as followed by the screams, you hear a loud and echoing roar, thunder from above.
Oh.
That's fun.
I immediately looked and Nyalkish. I was like, okay, we are going to calmly and slowly try and make our way out of here since no one's really reacting yet. And then once we're out in the open, we are just going to run back to the manor, okay?
Sorry, you already saw it. Never mind.
Yeah, I got you. And as you're saying this, Yulia, Nyalkish is suddenly jumping up onto her feet, looking frightened, as she'll say, Yulia? That's a dragon.
Hey guys, we found the dragon part of the Dungeons and Dragons.
I just
And then
kind
she-
of look at her like, oh, father below, we're in trouble.
And she will grab you by the wrist and haul you up onto your feet. And she says, "We are running back for that manor now."
Yep, we're going.
Yep.
I just let her drag me with the strength of the dragonborn, just yanking me like a ragdoll.
And she takes you, and you both sprint outside. And as you begin to run back down the street, back for Resh's manor, you see now both of you kind of taking a quick glance down the other main road that leads down to the ruins of the amphitheater. You see now from up above in the large hole in the barrier, you see now the shadows that have been moving far above the city now have descended upon it. And you can see now there are all manners of creature slithering and skittering into the city, both spider-like in nature. You see things made of tentacles, and you see flying directly overhead, heading almost directly for the Dorette Manor, is a rather large purple dragon.
We're gonna die.
I had to open my mouth, didn't I?
I'm gonna die.
It's great.
And you and Yalkish sprint back for the manor, hoping for some sort of safety. As we go back out into the Nightlands.
Oh, jeez.
Back to the temple, to the vault of glittering night. Where no one knows what's going on. It's fine. It's great.
Y'all are gonna come back to some fun times.
Oh god.
So,
We cannot catch a break. We cannot get ahead. Just. Oh man.
so as you all come into the altar room, Arca, you are still carrying the dead body over one shoulder.
Yeah.
I will ask Narshellis, where would you want Arca to put the body?
And Marcellus is kind of scouting out, the riddle's still on the table and everything, and he really doesn't want to use the podium. And he'll kind of lift up a finger as he's walking up the steps, and he's going to point to this location around here, and just say, Arca, can you bring her up here by the steps? Just up on the ledge up here by the door.
Yeah, sure thing. Narka climbs the steps and sets the body right down.
Right. I don't suppose any of you have conflict with what has to happen?
Taffy tenses up a little. Well, he's sopping wet. He tenses up a little bit. He's like, "No, that's gotta do it if we're gonna fix the barrier."
If it makes you feel better, she's already dead.
That's true. That's true. As he's wringing out like a part of his cloak. Does this count as a short rest? I would like to use some hit dice.
If you'd like to use hit dice, you may.
Oh boy, thank you.
And he'll kind of glance back at Rush for a minute and he's saying, Rush, can you make sure I do this right?
Resh will nod simply and follow you along up the steps.
Arca, no offense, can you get away from the door?
Oh, right.
Sorry.
And he goes back down the steps.
And kind of looks behind himself again and sort of gives everybody a glance over before he'll say, actually, Yavari,
Yes.
Can you read the passage out of that book again?
Which book?
The one in front of you.
Oh,
That one.
yeah. Give me one moment. Let me pull out my comprehend languages. Cracks for knuckles. So she's gonna go ahead and comprehend whatever she is reading at this book.
Okay, hold on, I have to find my thing of what it said.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, you are. Or you do, I'm sorry. Can you send it to me? Or you can just put it in the chat.
Oh wait, no, that was the other thing. Never mind.
Yeah, it's like I thought I sent it in the chat on roll 20.
You did.
I'm not finding it.
Weeks ago.
Hmm. Sorry, y'all. Give me just a minute.
No worries.
Okay, yeah, that was the combat we had.
Found it.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay. Well, there was also, I remember, like, the incantation from the
Yeah, but
other
that was
room.
I do have that, but that was specifically to give him armor.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, that then in chat, Yavari is what she reads out of the book. If you want to go ahead and read that for us.
Come the blade, come the hour, come the blood, come the power. Those who cower within the darkness of the spider queen's web must give up that which fills their veins with devotion, fear, and dread.
And as he holds Yivari's dagger over this woman's body, he pauses, because there's a twinge of fear because this is a female drow. And yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was about to say, I mean, Resh will kind of notice his hesitation, and he will say, if it makes you feel better, and as far as I know, Veyron probably would much enjoy it being a woman rather than a man.
Well, yeah, I'm the god of my drow, after all. Right. Right. And he holds it up again. And like he's got it positioned over her chest, like over the breast where the heart would be. And just kind of looks at Resh in the corner of his eyes and will just whisper, hoping nobody else can hear, just help me.
Resh will kind of lean forward and he'll say, I can help guide your hand, if that would help.
Considering what's in it, yeah, that would help.
Very well. And as you hold the dagger there above her, he will rest one hand over yours and help to guide you. Repositions where you were a little bit, and he says, I'm assuming then you know what must be done, otherwise I can just walk you through it as we go.
Yeah, that would help. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've never sacrificed anyone before.
I can tell.
I know.
So, what you're going to do first is we are going to have to carve her heart out.
Okay.
He kind of pauses there for a moment, and you might notice like the lines on his face kind of grow a little softer. So he just says, I would do this, Narshellis, but I'm not sure Veyron would accept it from me.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I just killed someone. This is not that big of a deal. Lower your voice. I don't want them hearing.
Sorry.
You're doing great.
Resh will lower his voice. It's just I can't
No, I
really
know,
talk
I
very
know.
quietly
Yeah.
with this one. But yeah. And he'll say, so we're going to cut through her first, and it will be a little difficult now that her
Right.
body is a little cold. So it will require some force.
Okay.
And he will take your hand. Well, he'll take your hands holding the dagger, and he will help you as he begins to press it down into her chest. And for you, Narshellis, it's, the crack of your whip was one thing. That was quick, smooth. Really you felt no resistance with a weapon like that, using it on the drow before. But now using such a small weapon, just a dagger now, having to press it into someone like this, you can feel, especially with the body being a little cold now that it's had time to cool off, you do feel a little resistance as you push the blade into her. It's an odd feeling. But Resh will not really give you a lot of time to stop and think about it, as he will continue to guide your hand to kind of cut open a rather large portion of her chest.
His shoulders are kind of lifting and heaving at this point, like he's uncomfortable. And Rush might feel like the hand that he's holding and guiding through this is kind of shaking a bit.
Which will just make him hold on a little tighter.
Oh.
And
okay, so how do I do? Do I just take it out? Do I just cut it out?
And he says, as he helps you lift the blade away, now her having this new deep cut now on her chest, he'll say, now you must.
What about the rib cage?
Hmm?
He said, oh, what about her rib cage?
Oh God, how does fucking anatomy work, man?
Would you like me to describe it?
Yeah,
it's okay. Unfortunately, her heart is not just right there under the skin.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And he will kind of turn back after a minute, and he's gonna just go, uh, Yavari, Aoife.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say? I'm mainly asking the person who just tore someone's heart out of their chest. How would you go about cutting open a ribcage?
Go for the middle.
Oh,
Like, straight down.
Yeah, I would. You can go between the ribs or right through the center where it's the weakest, and then
I just
sort
want it
of
done.
like.
I just want it done. I just want it done. And he just like tosses the knife and just reaches in with his hands
Oh
and
God.
grabs one of the ribs and just pulls.
Ah,
Also
Nice.
works, I guess.
That is the most efficient way. Yes.
Yeah.
Give me
Thank
a
you. Thank
check.
you.
yeah.
Oh boy. What am I clicking on?
Just strength. Just like a straight strength check.
Oh boy. Oh wow.
Narcellus really fucking wants this done. Yeah,
That rib is
you
snapping.
Rips the whole rib cage out.
you reach in there.
Mortal combats this poor sacrifice.
You reach in there, grab a hold of the first rib you can feel, and pull. And it gives some resistance, but eventually you more so feel than hear it crack
Oh.
as you manage to break it off of the rest of the rib cage.
And we will continue this if you'll let me with another one.
Yeah, I'll let you just keep the strength roll as he
Thanks.
reaches in there, breaks off another, reaches in, breaks off yet another, or at least enough for you to get to her heart.
And he
Going, finish her.
like he's trying to just channel it out and just in his head he's just thinking, just imagine it's mom. And just reaches over for the knife again and pulls it up and just starts cutting until he feels like the cold, wet organ and just slices it out. And like he feels it like filling his hand and just pulls it right out above her chest.
Yeah, and sure enough, you cut off the veins and arteries and the muscle attached to the heart as you pull it up and out from her chest. Your arm now about coated in blood almost up to your elbow. Yeah, you have a heart. What do you do with it? It's
He's trying to ignore the smell.
yeah.
And he's just like he raises his eyes up to Resh in a very like we have to talk about this later sort of
Mm.
not in a good way, and just moves over to the door and sets it in whatever little ceremonial crevice happens to be there.
And yeah, you walk up to the door and you'll notice that on the one side of it there's already a couple of old jars filled with what you thought at first was maybe blood of some sort, but getting a better look at it, you can see now there is something much more whole within them. And now holding a heart here in your hands, you can only assume that they were other hearts from other sacrifices in the past.
Well, not having a jar,
So-
he's just gonna dump it on the altar right there.
There
yeah,
you go.
so you place it down on the other side of the altar. And as you do so, let me see. Hold on. I had a note about this somewhere. Oh boy. So as you place it down upon the altar, you see that the door now that leads into what you assume is likely the altar room of Veyron. You see glyphs all along the outer edges of it begin to glow rather bright blue color. And this door, like the rest, rumbles and grinds and moves as it slides downward. And at first, all you can see within the room, or within the room beyond, is this impenetrable darkness, swirling in shades of onyx, shadow, and pitch. And oddly enough, you also see, as the door slides down enough, you see your own reflection. Almost as if you're staring into some sort of black mirror. And... oh god, I'm losing it. You and Arca, I will need wisdom saving throws.
Goodbye, guys.
Oh dear.
And,
Great to know you guys.
and Resh and Ari will as well.
Oh, wisdom is my worst stat.
It works for me, too.
What about Taffy? Is he?
Oh my god.
Thankfully, Taffy,
Oh.
you are far enough away.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
Oh, Arca. Also,
Got it.
Resh.
Yeah, Resh ain't doing too fucking hot. So, Arca, I'll start
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
What would you say is Arca's greatest fear?
Oh
God.
boy. Hmm.
Probably either his family or his people getting hurt.
All right. So good, thank you. So I'll start first real quick with Narcellus. As the door opens and you see your reflection staring back at you, after a moment, as you lock eyes with yourself, you see your reflection shift and lurch forward very suddenly, as if it's about to lunge for you. However, as soon as it does so, it vanishes. And all you're left with is the dark opening of the room. As for you, Arca, though you're at the bottom of the stairs, you can still see the doorway as it opens fully. And from down here, you can see that beyond it seems to be nothing but black. And oddly enough, you almost at first think you can see feathers or something of the sort, lurching out of it. And all of a sudden, you see at the top of the stairs, this figure appears. Actually, hold on one second. You see a man standing there, having walked out of the doorway, seemingly right past Narcellus. It's the head of a man. It's a humanoid figure with blue skin, but he has a beak over where his mouth would be, and two beautiful wings kind of cascade from his back, made of feathers of every color imaginable, and you recognize this as Garuda.
Oh.
As having lived in the karst for as long as you have, though you've never met, well, no, you would have met Garuda briefly when you were younger. So you do recognize the god of your people.
It's like, hi, God.
As he stands there, you see he holds up one of his hands in front of him, and all you see is that he is holding a head.
Oh.
Oh,
A decapitated head.
Oh my god.
uh-oh.
Oh
Gee.
no.
An Aarakocra's head.
This is escalating.
Uh-oh.
I can't.
Your younger sister.
God.
And how does Arca react to this?
Oh, man. Oh, wow. Oh. I think it'd be a mix of, like, reverence, because it is Garuda, but also horror, because he is holding his sister's head. So, Arca falls to his knees, and it's kind of like an attempt at respect, but he fixes his gaze on the decapitated head, and there's this low, fearful whisper from it. Why?
Baby.
And as soon as as that word leaves your lips, the vision vanishes, but you feel all of a sudden this sharp pain in your head that almost makes you double over.
Oh god.
As
Oh,
you
boy.
Oh.
Oh, boy.
Oh my god.
boy.
Bam.
as you take 26 points of psychic damage.
Wow. That's big damage.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta get that
Emotional damage.
Yeah. Apparently, emotional damage is the most effective one against Arca.
Yeah, really.
No. The poor boy.
So upon oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
So as for Runarian standing beside Arca, for a moment he swears he could have seen his father standing up at the top of the stairs, but the image vanishes before he can get a good look at it. And as you double over Arca, he kind of quickly kneels down beside you worriedly as he immediately asks, Arca, are you alright?
Arca doesn't respond. He is clutching his head.
Oh no! And meanwhile, up at the top of the steps.
Oh god.
So, Nershellis, you thankfully didn't seem to experience anything from this strange doorway. As for your brother beside you, however, you see, he was watching the door with keen interest as you place the heart upon the altar to get it to open. And almost as soon as it does, his eyes grow wide and he reaches for his dagger, or for probably one of his scimitars, as if he's about to fight something. Like he's expecting something to suddenly come out of the shadows, but stops himself. And then you just see him also double over in pain suddenly as he clutches at his head. I will also give him 26 points of psychic damage. Haha!
Oh my
Fantastic!
Step over kind of in front of him and grab onto his shoulders and just be like, Wesh, what's going on?
He tries to form some sort of word to say, but he just doesn't seem to be able to.
What? Ari, how's Arca doing?
In pain.
Can't you heal him?
I don't know what's hurt him.
I don't know what's going on with Resh either.
Your whole line's gonna vanish for a second.
Oh!
He's like, and then he just poof.
The stalker.
Shadow steps out of this dungeon. I've had enough of this.
He'll like look down at the knife that he's holding. He's like, Lash, what's going on? What is it?
So something.
Okay, something is not a lot for me to go off of. I'm gonna need you to give me a little bit more. I understand you're hurt.
And he just sort of like growls in frustration as he just says just phantom, nothing more.
Okay.
Well, he's vanishing again. There we go. I was trying to fix his health. I'm sorry.
If Marcellus looks back in this room, is there anything there?
As you look, it's nothing now other than just complete pitch darkness that even you cannot see into.
Ari, can you see if you can do something about them being in pain? Or Ari, if you can cast something, maybe?
Hey, Arca, do you want a greater healing potion?
Arca is still not responsive.
Oh god, okay.
Taffy, can you come up here, please?
Yeah, sure. Oh boy. He'll start
wow.
walking up the stairs. He can, occasionally glances back to, see how Arca's doing. And now he stares into the abyss. Oh.
Oh boy.
Thankfully, as you walk up the steps, Taffy, nothing spooks you as it seems to have gotten Resh and Arca. All you see here in the doorway is just pitch blackness.
He just stares and is like, geez, is that what all that just to open up this?
There's probably something inside. It looks like a darkness spell.
I don't suppose there's any way we could turn it off.
No. And he'll go back over to Resh and kind of put one arm underneath one of his to kind of try to help him stand.
Resh will take the offered arm as he slowly rises back up onto his feet. He still seems to be in some discomfort, but at least seems a little more alert of his surroundings now.
Can you guys maybe, I don't know, carry Arca up here? We come this far, we have to keep going.
Taffy goes back to the top of the stairs. Do you guys need help?
Ari will look down at Arca and say, Arca, can I help you stand, perhaps?
Arca is silent for a moment, but he raises his head and before he raises his head, he quickly wipes his eyes with an arm and then finally just holds out a hand towards Ari, accepting his help.
And Ari will very firmly take his hand to help him back up onto his feet, and in the same time, will channel some of his anima into you, Arca, with his lay on hands, so you can recover 10 hit points.
Oh. Thank you, Ari.
Of course. And then he'll very carefully help you up the stairs.
And then Marcellus is going to withdraw his spear, which I have never used, and still
Oh,
somehow
boy.
have since day one. Me looking at his character sheet like, oh,
Oh,
yeah,
it's like, oh, that's right, that exists.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have a spear main hand and offhand. Explain that.
Oh.
I
Weird,
don't
but
know.
okay.
I know.
Sorry,
And,
not to interrupt. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, what is it?
Oh, Yavari was just gonna cast Healing Elixir on our dad. The
Oh,
group
okay.
dad.
The group dad.
Oh, God. He will deny this if you ever say it out loud. And, yeah,
He
as
took
you...
lots of damage.
He sure... Yeah, they both did.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you conjure this elixir and hold it out to Resh, he'll just give a silent nod to you as he'll drink it. So I'll roll that for him.
And Nershellus already has an armful of gore. He's infested. So taking his spear, he's just gonna walk inside the dark room. He's going in.
Upon seeing that, Taffy's like, whoa! And so he like draws his rapier, goes up, has, narrows his eyes, takes a deep breath, and just, like he holds his breath and he just kind of walks in, like right after Nershellus. Not wanting Narshellus to go in like by himself.
Thank you, Taffy. You're such a good kitty.
Me too.
Aw.
And for the rest of you, as you see both Narshellus and Taffy go into the doorway, it's almost as if they pass through this sort of black wall as they just seem to vanish completely into the darkness before. And you see Resh will very quickly, after drinking the elixir given to him by Yavari, follows in after them. And then Ari kind of looks over the rest of them and says, well, I guess we're all going in?
Mm-hmm. I mean, where
Yeah.
else are we going?
Right. Alright, and you all eventually just make your way through.
Oh.
And at first, for all of you, as you walk through the doorway, your vision is plunged into complete darkness. Somehow even darker than if you had your eyes closed. And all of you can hear, as you pass through the doorway, can hear a deep, throaty chuckle kind of echoing in your ears. One party member, Narshellus, recognizing
He's
this
laughing
noise.
at me again.
No. Well, now he's laughing at all of us.
And as
Hi.
and as the final person of the party, whoever that may be, makes their way through the doorway, for all of you, the blackness then begins to clear, almost like a smoke cloud. And you instinctively raise your hand and start to wave it away from your face and your nose to help clear your vision. And before you now unfolds a completely new scene. A scene of dark sentinel trees with bark almost purple in color, with a half moon cleaved into the sky so large that it looks twice as big as the very ground you stand on now. The forest is one of perpetual night, with shining moonstones all around the trees that glimmer and shine with the strength of the moon's light. The grass around you is dark, almost blue in color, and hard to see through the darkness that peels around the roots of these great and ancient trees. You see before you, there are two paths you can go down that cuts through the trees, each one looking darker and blacker than the last. And I would like all of you to please make a survival check for me.
Oh
No.
I can't do this.
Oh,
Oh, a survival
Don't forget,
check.
you guys should all have your anima shards.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
I'll
This
say
is a
if you're
great
worried
time.
about it, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna.
yeah, I think.
Nice.
Well,
Oh, oof.
I'm just
Oh,
determined
God.
to die today.
You know what? I'm gonna also use my anima shard. You know what? I think we need it.
Ari,
This
you
is so
dumb
sad.
elf.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, our
Oh,
God
okay.
damn it, okay.
Oh, that wasn't meant for Ari, but that's fine.
Rush. Whoever.
Yeah, that was rash. Yeah.
This man is a dumb bucket of rocks.
Tifa and Arca are just gonna be pulling everybody.
So Arca, you happen to notice that one of the trees closest to you seems to bear a rather large moonstone, probably almost about the size of one of your talons. It looks like it might have come loose during the force of your arrival and seems to be barely hanging onto the branch by a thread. You might be able to reach out and take it if you so desire to. The light could prove useful.
Yep, I'm gonna take that.
Excellent. So yeah, you all see Arca reaches up to one of the nearby trees and plucks off this rather large moonstone. And as you hold it, Arca, it continues to shine a very soft and warm light, and it feels very cool to the touch in your hands.
Nice.
And you'll see Ari kind of looks around, looking rather perplexed. He says, where are we?
Can I make a religion check?
Sure.
Can't wait to fail this one too. Give me another nat 1. Marcellus knows nothing about the god he worships.
Apparently not.
He's like, he's boy, and he has a mask.
My fucking-
Damn.
Help me!
Oh my god.
Help me.
This poor boy.
So,
Why?
So, at best, Narshellus, from what you've been able to study of Veyron in your time in Philisera, you are aware that, according to those who worship Veyron, they believe that he does have his own realm that he resides in. You don't really recall what it was. You could have sworn maybe it was meant to be a cave system or tunnels or somewhere at least very dark. That's really about all you can really remember that might be relevant.
This is fantastic. He knows nothing.
Mhm.
You said that there were 2 paths in front of us there, right?
There's one to the left and one to the right.
Right, well, holding up both of his hands, kind of trying to get his bearing for direction. He's going to walk forward through. What does the terrain look like?
The terrain is about what you might expect in a rather dense forest. There is, other than the clearing you all appear to have landed in and the 2 paths that cut through the underbrush, everything is very overgrown.
Mhm.
You know, everything's not, it's like a silvery green color is kind of a color of a lot of the leaves, whereas the grass is more almost blue in nature. But almost everything is covered in thorny bushes or trees that tower far above anything that you've ever seen on the surface and anything that anyone in the party has ever really seen before for trees, with twisted trunks that reach and grasp for the moon hanging far above in the sky.
All right, well, he'll walk over whatever roots he'll have to not trip and fall on his face. And kind of looking between the left and right paths, he'll say, which way do you guys want to go?
He thinks for a second. Left.
All right. How about you, Arca?
I suppose I'll say left as well.
All right. Ivari? Aoife?
Complaints going left.
Aoife sort of takes pause, sort of staring first in one direction and then the other, and says, this might be a foolish suggestion, but what if we split up?
Since we don't know where we are, I'm gonna say that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it could be. But maybe both paths lead to the same place, just a
Or
different journey.
one path could lead to a big hole that eats you.
Fair enough.
And he'll just sort of look between the two paths and say, I'm gonna be a dissenting asshole and say right just so we can go left anyway.
She would.
Ari
You
will
will,
just say,
right?
Ari just looks at Resh, looks back at Narshalis and says, well, I think even if Resh and I both agreed with you to go right, I think the majority still voted for left, so...
Yeah. Left it is. Besides, we both know that Resh would just shake his head and say, neither.
I can just teleport in the shadows. Please don't kill me, please.
Resh looks very unamusedly at Yavari, but he doesn't say anything.
And,
So,
still go left.
We're going left.
alright, your path decided, you all turn and head down the left path. It, is a rather winding path leading this way and that through the trees, and all the while you can't help but notice that it's rather quiet for a forest. Those of you who've lived on the surface before are very familiar with the sounds of animals, both at day and at night, between the birds, the bees, the everything else.
Yeah.
But you're used to a forest being alive with noise, whereas this one is very quiet, and it feels like almost as if time is standing still as you walk down the path. And as you continue to go, you notice that the leafy underbrush at the bases of the trees and twisting around the roots, you notice it goes from being leafy to appearing much more thorny, and there's a lot of vines now growing out between the bushes. And eventually the path ends at a rather quaint little grove that might have been a nice spot to sit and relax if it weren't for the pile and masses of dead spider corpses.
Oh.
Yeah, lovely.
And you see these spiders are very clearly all dead, as many of them seem to be laying on their sides or back, their legs curled inward towards their bodies, and their carapaces crushed in by an array of weapons, most of which are still protruding from their corpses. You see the blood that's splattered out on the ground here is silver in color, and the air around you almost seems to swirl with anima. For anyone who would like, also, actually, Hell, I'll take an Arcana check from whoever would like to roll for it.
Okay.
Haha.
Yes.
The one thing I'm good at this round.
Hey.
Please don't do it. Oh, wait, no, I'm still on advantage. Hold on. I lied. I'm a whole liar. Give me 1 second.
We're that good.
Okay, never mind.
Oh.
I will also roll one.
This hurt.
Oh.
This physically hurts me. The one time.
Ouch.
Out.
Ooh.
We're all stupid.
We're done this shit.
It's the one thing you've always good at!
Taffy, would you like to, or?
Oh, baby. You know what? Sure. Why not?
Just do it.
Why
Just
do it.
not?
Do it for the
I have
shits and giggles.
No idea
Roll
how
the
this
nat
works.
20.
There we go. Perfect.
Oh.
We all
Everyone's
suck.
dumb.
Knows even less. Oh, God.
Ari's
back. Was that Ari?
tree.
Everyone popping off earlier. Now we're all just dumb as rocks.
Oh,
I
beautiful.
can't. I'm gonna pee.
My God.
Wait,
I love this
I
campaign.
still had that goddamn meme. Hold on.
Jesus. Anima, what's that, guys?
Yeah, really.
Don't know.
Don't know her.
What I use daily for my spells. Like, I don't know what that is. I just work here, guys. I don't know
Yeah,
anything.
really. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Anna.
Just need to save that.
You really do.
Listen, we already knew Ari is a himbo. It's okay.
So, choose Aoife since you rolled the highest. So seeing this grove before you, other than the masses of dead spiders, you notice that the anima in the air, it's kind of like trails of glitter that are kind of swirling about you, almost in playful sorts of manners, kind of following very lazy circular patterns in the air. You're not really sure if it's meant to be something or not, as anima like this has never been your forte, but you've never really seen anima like this before, as all of you would know that anima is typically a fuck. Memes being shared in the Discord right
the
now.
Memes.
Validity of the brain cell.
But you all would at least know that as far as anima is concerned, it's something that is typically invisible except when manifested in the form of spells and magic. So it would at least strike you all as rather peculiar that it is visible here.
Okay, so does it seem to be like coming from a particular place, or is it just like everywhere?
Roll an investigation check for me.
Oh, God.
Can I also roll a history check?
What are you trying to history?
I'll send it to you.
Okay. 15. Nice. So, where was that when we needed it? So you notice that while it doesn't seem to be coming from anywhere, you do notice that it seems to kind of be clumping in certain areas around the grove. Just kind of continuing in those, like, every clump is kind of moving in its own circular pattern.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
What?
no, whoever...
Oh, I was just gonna say, because Narshellus asked me what he wanted to. So yes, if you want to roll for that,
Cool, thank you.
Bela. Yeah. 18. But did you want to say anything there, Anna, or?
Not right now, no. I think
Okay.
if it's just investigating it.
Okay.
Narcellus will speak up after a minute and say, it could actually just be lingering stress that's still around here.
Ari will speak up and say, lingering what?
Fire stress. It's a type of naturally occurring magic anima, I guess, that tends to gather in large quantities in the Underdark. Sometimes it's even visible in these sort of webs and waves of violet magic. I'm sure you've seen it around. It kind of looks like a light.
I mean, this anima does seem to be clumping together in certain areas, so maybe.
And then also one more roll. I would like a medicine check from Aoife and Yavari.
Oh boy.
Why couldn't I have gotten a 15 on my Arcana check when I actually had 5 points invested? This is disrespectful.
So the two of you will see, other than the anima swirling about in the air, the other thing that catches your interest is a flower, kind of sitting off to the side. Really, it catches your attention because it seems to be the only flower growing around here. You can see it's soaked in this silver blood, but what you can see of the flower beneath it is that its petals are a light lavender color, and it's sort of hanging in almost the shape of a crescent moon. Aoife, you know this flower, though incredibly rare, is known as a moonflower. What you know of it is the fact that the petals of it have natural healing properties when brewed into tea. It's a flower that you've never managed to get your hands on, but something that you have heard of in your time of being a chef and being one who is very passionate about her tea. Yavari. Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna say something.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yavari, you recognize this as a moonflower as well. And what you recall about this from your alchemical background is that moonflowers are often highly sought after, as they are often put into some of the most expensive potions you know of, as they appear to have the ability to be used in certain arcane spells or brews, specifically that each of its petals can often be used to commune with the dead.
Immediately, Aoife is going. I'm going to pull away from the group, and move towards the flower. I don't know if I have to dodge spider carcasses or not, but
They suddenly
You
get
You
up
probably
and
gotta
attack
step around a couple of them.
step around a few things.
Mhm.
Say sorry,
And-
sorry. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
And is there only one?
There is only one, yes.
Oh boy. Aoife's going to move to where the flower is and sort of like crouching down. Like a hand just like covers my mouth and sort of like to like almost stifle like a sort of like sound of like both like shock and like just pure joy. As I reach for the flower, and carefully try to pluck it up from the earth.
All right. Yeah. So you. Oh, hold on 1 second.
The whole day.
So yeah, you walk over and very carefully you give a little tug at its stem, and very easily enough you pluck the flower.
Oh right. Eva's going to like stand up very slowly and just like, oh no, cradle the flower in her palms just like gently, and just is going to turn back to the rest of the group. And what is the Avari looking like right now?
Ivari's kind of like, why is she cradling a flower? And then immediately her eyes go wide and she goes, That's a moonflower.
And
What's a moon?
So, fun fact about moonflowers, at least, alchemical wise, is that these are used for some of the more powerful potions. And one of the properties, at least that I can remember, is that we can use this ingredient at some point to make a potion to talk to the dead. But it has many other uses in alchemy.
And
Oh, go ahead.
and Aoife will slowly make her way. Oh, I'll slowly make my way back to the party, just like taking very careful steps. Say, and it can also be used for healing. Very, very good healing. If it's
You said it can be used to talk to the dead.
Yeah, one of the properties of the potion, if I remember correctly, uses a moonflower. How many petals are there?
There are just 3 that grow on each flower, and this flower does have all 3 petals. And just using your medicine check, it's usually only 1 petal is needed to make 1 potion.
Aoife, would you be opposed if I took 1 petal?
And staring down at the flower cradled in my hand, this beautiful treasure that I never thought I would ever see. I pause, and then I very hesitantly, but with a level of conviction, pluck a petal off and very carefully hold it out to Yavari.
And Yavari is going to delicately, matching the energy that Aoife is giving, and takes the petal between her pointer and her thumb and pulls it closer to examine it. She goes, wow. I never imagined I would be holding one of these, but this is so cool.
Aoife.
Hmm?
And Michelle looks at Aoife, and there's no malice in his face. This has never happened before.
Oh.
He looks at her, and it's hopeful. And he says, You said that those can be used to talk to the dead, right?
Look,
You've already said that, but
Mm.
yes.
Do you think I could have one? It's
And,
just Rush and I lost our brother a few years ago.
Right. And looking down at the flower again, Aoife plucks another petal, and again, very gingerly and very carefully, as if she's handing over the most precious thing in the world, she holds it out to Narcellus.
And he'll kind of hold his hand out for a minute. He's like, "And Yvari, you're sure this works, right?"
most of the time it does. It depends on who makes the potion.
Do you think you'd be able to make the potion?
Not at this exact moment of time, but if you give me time to actually study it, I could see what I could do.
And he'll carefully hold out the petal he took from Aoife to Yvari then, and he'll say, "I don't know what you plan on doing with yours, but can you try to find out how to make the potion for me?"
And Yavari, noticing how genuine he's being at this exact moment in time, genuine and vulnerable, just nods her head and goes, "Of course, I'll take care of it." And gently plucks the petal from Narcellus's hands.
Okay, thanks. I just it doesn't. I appreciate it.
No problem.
He'll just kind of glance almost half nervously at Resh and then like move his eyes away.
Rush kind of seems to be giving you a bit of an odd look, but doesn't say anything about it. Just sort of stands there with his arms crossed over his chest.
And is there anything else in this area now that we have the flower? Like anything to kind of look at or?
Giving a look around, there's seems to be nothing else of interest. Pretty much the entire edge of the grove seems to be almost walled off in a sense by these large thorny vines. So other than the flower and the spider carcasses impaled by weapons, there's really nothing else of note.
And Aoife
ahead.
tucking the flower petal into her into a little bag that is connected to her waist, says, "Back the way we came?"
Seems like it.
Something to note: when you put that petal back in your bag, for anyone who catches their eye, you see Taffy eyeing you do that, but he doesn't say anything. He gets a little fidgety, but he doesn't say anything.
Is there a problem?
Can I roll a perception check on Taffy? Insight, I guess, whatever.
He's not being like,
Okay, so would it be something?
Yeah, you could just
like
if you just want to notice it, you can. It'd be fine. You can call him out on it.
It's being noticed.
Okay.
But Aoife's not going to say anything.
Is there something you need to say, Taffy?
And Taffy, is like, what? Me? No. Just that's a pretty cool flower.
Your eyes say differently, but okay.
God, leave him alone. Maybe he's just curious about it.
Yeah, just curious. Nothing important or anything.
Mhm.
Okay, whatever you say.
And on the way
It's
back, he just
fine.
kind of he hangs back, occasionally, rubbing his shoulder.
All right. So you all head back the way you came, down the winding path through the trees, and you come back to the small little clearing that you had first appeared in. And as you come back through this space, you notice that there doesn't seem to be any sort of way that would lead back to the temple.
Mm.
Thinking maybe there would be some doorway or a portal, perhaps. There doesn't appear to be anything here, save for another cluster of swirling anima.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh,
Uh,
So is the only other path, I guess, left to go the one that was like the right path?
yeah. Now at this point, your only way would be the right path that you didn't go down earlier. So that is the way you all shall go.
excellent.
And give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Okay, so sorry, just trying to find my spot here. So you take this path down to the right, or really now straight ahead of you at this point. And it's just as winding as the last one, with gentle curves this way and that. And still, the forest remains just as silent as it has been. And here now, you find yourselves in a much larger grove this time that appears to go all the way up to a cliffside. Actually, hold on. Yeah, okay. So you find yourselves in yet another grove. Thankfully, no spider carcasses in sight, and also not as thorny as the last one was. This one is much more green and leafy, and full of that sort of foresty life without the fauna running all throughout the underbrush. And it leads up, as you kind of look ahead of yourselves, it leads up to the base of a cliffside where some trees are kind of gathering around it, shrouding a lot of that cliffside in darkness despite the very bright light of the moon above. So dark, in fact, that it looks just simply like a wall of darkness beyond the trees that are clustered there. But otherwise, there appears to be nothing else of interest within the grove. Arca, I'd like you to make a perception check for me.
Oh, baby.
Oh. Alrighty.
Let's go, Arco. We believe in you.
Do you?
100%. Fantastic.
So good.
Fantastic. Okay, so you know, holding, because you are currently now holding the moonstone, and though this grove is large, you feel as if the moonstone is almost kind of shining its light specifically towards the cliffside at the far end of the grove from the party.
Oh.
And your eyes are kind of drawn towards it, although from this distance you can't notice anything.
Okay. Then I would like to approach the cliffside and continue holding up the moonstone to shine its light on whatever's there.
All right, you walk over to the cliffside, and the rest of the party, you see Arca, you know, beginning to wander away and almost completely vanishes within the darkness of the trees.
Oh.
Save for the moonstone that he's holding in his hand. As for you, Arca, the moonstone does help to cut through this darkness and illuminate your path. And you see now as it almost sort of washes away the darkness that's clinging to the cliff here. You see it clears away enough that you notice, rather than being, you know, a sheer face of rock and dirt, you see that there is in fact the opening of a cave here.
Oh. Okay. I call out to the rest of the party. Hey guys, there looks to be a cave opening here. Do we want to investigate this?
Marcellus will walk over, and still very much thinking about the flower, and just kind of peer into the entryway. And can he see anything?
Inside of the cave, unfortunately, no. It is just as black as anything else has been.
Can he do something stupid?
Oh.
What would you like to do?
I'd like him to lean forward on his toes a little bit and just say into the cave to see if it'll echo. And just go, hello?
So you're leaning into the cave and just saying hello?
Yeah.
Alright, you lean into the cave, saying hello, but there's no response.
Oh.
Huh. Well, nothing's eating my face off. Should be pretty okay.
It's worth investigating the cave.
I am curious.
Okay. I'm down.
Well, I guess we're all going in the cave then.
Cave is best.
Taffy,
Cave is what?
Cave is best. Taffy currently he doesn't respond. He's sort of following on autopilot.
Oh boy.
I understand, Taffy.
He is distracted by something with his thoughts.
Mhm.
And then, okay, Marcellus is gonna, I guess, walk inside the very dark cave. Oh,
Yeah, Arca will also walk in and
do I
He will-
see anything? Or does Arca see anything? Does he have special bird eyes?
His
Special
special
bird
bird eyes.
It offers a
My
hand
brand.
in these trying times for people who don't have dark vision.
yes.
So as you enter the cave, it's really mostly thanks to the moonstone Arca holds that you're able to see anything, even for those of you with dark vision. And so you go inside, and as you go, it seems like a fairly standard cave. The walls are made of stone, the bottom made of a mixture of stone, gravel, and dirt. Rather rough and not really all that smooth, perhaps not a very common place people or things have ever traversed, if anything even lives here, wherever here is. And as you all go further and further in...
Oh, nothing. Sorry, I thought it was muted.
Oh, you're fine. And you all go further and further inside. And you eventually... the tunnel you've traveled through opens up into a larger cavern. And you see at first the light of the moonstone that you hold, Arca, seems to almost glow brighter to illuminate the entire cavern for you all. And you see at first someone here with you. About probably in the middle of the cavern or so is a man, appearing to be sitting down upon a rather large, smooth rock. He, from what you can tell at a glance, he looks like a normal drow, with dark skin and white hair with streaks of red running through it. He wears leather armor that seems to be mostly black and purple, and you see there's a mask of the same colors covering most of his upper face, leaving only his mouth visible. Currently...
I said, oh, fantastic.
Oh, fantastic.
He's leaned over from how he's sitting, with one hand on one of his knees and the other seeming to be holding his shoulder. And as you all walk in, you see him lift his head, and you see even from here, you can see his eyes as they almost seem to glow in the dark. At first, they appear green for a brief moment before turning to this deep shade of blue. And oh gosh, hold on.
I'm scared.
I didn't have this ready yet.
Anybody else? Anybody else scared? Raise your hand if you're scared.
I'm always
I'm
scared.
fine.
I see it, but I'm raising my hand.
I'm raising both of my hands.
Yeah. Here, can you guys still hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just like to make sure.
Oh, I'm
gonna
scared.
I'm really
gonna
scared
drop.
also.
Oh.
I gotta go to bed.
Oh, yes, go bed. Get some
I realized
sleep.
what time it was.
Yeah, you better go.
Have fun, everybody. I hope y'all survive.
I will also
Thank
drop
you.
you to bed pretty soon.
Good night.
Good
No,
night.
no worries, Ivari. We're only going for another 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. And you see he lifts his head to you all, and you just hear him say, shit, hold on.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared.
Waiting for the jump scare.
I'm so scared. Remember that one time Neferu spoke?
I do remember that one time.
And that
woke me
scared
up.
the shit out of all of us.
It's like, good morning.
Oh, then get ready.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, the god voices are actually terrifying. Actually, factually.
So he lifts his head, and you hear him say,
Oh.
Hello?
He turned into a car.
They turned into a car. We can't hear you. We just hear like honking noises.
He turned into Darth Vader, dude.
Oh, God.
Kayla? Are you good, fam?
It's so terrifying.
I wasn't prepared for
Yes,
this.
I'm fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you heard that. You hear that noise. That's awful.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm enjoying the technical difficulty.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, hold on. So he says to you all,
They're fixing it.
Well, what a persistent bunch you are.
Oh,
Oh.
Hello, God.
yeah.
Oh,
Literally.
and you all might. Well, actually,
Everyone but you.
Taffy just freaks out and
I think
like,
everyone but Yuvari and Resh, you all
People
will
keep on
actually.
talking about this guy, and I don't know if y'all are just like crazy. Like I'm not hearing anything.
No, you all will recognize that this appears to be the same masked drow you all had caught a glimpse of in the amphitheater.
Oh, God.
Narcellus
Oh,
is just
no.
gonna say it. He's just gonna say it out loud. He's just gonna go, Veyron?
You would be correct.
God.
This bitch, this child, literally just drops to one knee.
And you see Resh will do much of the same thing, looking fairly shocked at the moment. As he bows his head and he'll say, apologies. Shoot, Bela, real quick. How would they address him? Would it just be Veyron, or?
Hold on. There's the Masked Lord. There'd be Lord Veyron.
Okay, Lord Veyron sounds okay. And you'll just hear Resh say, apologies, Lord Veyron, if we have intruded upon you this evening. And Narcellus, it's at this moment you'll notice that the silence has perhaps felt so eerie for you because you haven't heard anything inside of your head either.
Oh.
As you see
Oh.
now, kneeling down, seeing your crystal in view, you see that the usual purple glow that surrounds it is dormant.
He just kind of lifts it up after a minute. He's turning his hand left and right, just kind of looking at it with like this bewildered look, and he's like, oh, that's what's like thinking to himself, like, oh, that's what's been so fucking weird. It's quiet. And he'll just like swing his head upward and kind of catch another glimpse at this drow, and he'll just be like, it wasn't our intention to drop in on you. He'll kind of look back at everyone else with like this God fucking help me look.
And Taffy, you as well,
Oh, no.
can hear a sort of like faint rattling noise coming from your bag. And if you happen to kind of take a peek inside the pouch it's coming from,
Oh, yeah,
you'll
absolutely
notice
will.
that you'll notice that it's the anima crystals you've been carrying around with you seem to have also lost their usual glow and now fall quiet and still.
Oh. The Taffy slams himself against one of the walls. He's just like trying to make himself as small a target as possible. And he notices the anima's just left, and he's like, oh, this isn't good. This is not okay.
He's like, God, forgive us for bringing outsiders here. Is this your realm?
Oh.
Sorry, I have to find the name of it. I had it here somewhere. There it is. Sorry.
No, you good.
Yes, this is Elania, my realm.
Right. Okay. And he'll just like very shakily look back toward like Yavari and Renarian and Aoife, and he's just kind of like, okay, Renarian's fine, but oh god, you guys might die. Oh god. he's like, um, uh, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what to do here.
You're in danger.
We came looking for oh, and he sighs and he's like, I'm about to become the biggest dumbass this side of the Underdark. And he just says, we came here looking for a giant bat. Not here specifically. We came here on accident. We were in the temple, and then you laughed at me, and
Twice.
it's a very nice temple, by the way.
It has sadly fallen into disrepair, but I assume the bat you speak of to be the Chiroptera.
Yeah, the chiropractor.
It is a fool's mission. They went extinct over a century ago.
Oh. I just kind of look back at Yavari and Taffy and I was like, what are we supposed to do? We can't repair the barrier without the chiroptery. We can't go back to Valgard unless we fix the barrier.
And at the mention of a barrier, and
God
especially of Valgard, you'll see Veyron seems to almost kind of straighten his posture and give you an odd look. And he'll ask you,
What is this barrier you speak of?
The barrier in Mithranve. The theater was putting on a show. You were there. The whole thing collapsed and the barrier above the above the theater's broken.
and you see for a brief moment the eyes behind his mask flash to a bright red, and even the red in his hair seems to soak more into the white. After a moment, the red recedes back to his white, and his eyes sort of fall back to a green color that you saw them at first. And he'll look at you for a very long moment, Narcellus, before he'll say,
Come here.
Oh no.
I don't wanna. He just kind of looks at Resh like, okay.
what did he say? I'm sorry.
He didn't say anything. He's just looking at Resh like, I'm about to get smote.
And Resh just kind of gives a small, like, nod towards Veyron while looking at Narcellus, like trying to silently tell him, like, just go on.
I mean, yeah, you're either gonna get smote there or here, I guess.
Yeah.
So I haven't rolled my second character sheet, guys, but I look forward to it.
But don't worry, I'm right there with you. I got a backup
Yeah.
character ready to go.
We're dying.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Right, Narcellus,
Third
like,
time's a charm.
he stands and he looks very small in that he's making himself look small. Like, his shoulders are kind of pulled inward and he takes a few small steps forward. before continuing on and just glancing back at his group and then looking at God.
Looking at God.
He's like, yes.
And he'll look at you for a long moment, and as you stand before him now, he, after a brief moment, gets up onto his feet. And you'll see now that he's not kind of hunched over himself. He stands probably about as tall as Runarian, at, well over 6 feet. Along with the colors of his armor, you see that it's broken apart by splatters of silver blood. And he walks up to you, walking rather slowly, though you can't tell whether with purpose or perhaps from some sort of wound that this blood came from. And after a long moment, he'll say,
You have quite the nerve to bring so many outsiders into one of my temples. Oh, I understand why.
and his eyes will then kind of look down to the crystal in your hand.
Yeah, this is it. I'm gonna fucking die.
And he'll say,
Though, even worse, you have brought Lolf's influence with you.
Oh. I didn't do it by choice. And I mean, like, this boy is shaking. He's holding his hands together and his shoulders are like physically jumping and his voice is shaking and he's like, I didn't bring her here because I wanted to. I didn't want to disrespect you. I didn't want her in me.
Yet you also have a Lolfite devotee within your party.
and his eyes focus on Resh.
Oh, it's not like that. He is my older brother.
What difference does it make?
It makes all the difference. Lolth would have killed me if it weren't for my brother.
And that catches his attention as you see the red in his hair in a blink seems to turn to green as his head tilts slightly to one side. And he'll look back to Resh and then back at you, and he'll say,
Caring for even family members is not something my mother teaches.
I know it's a vulnerability that you're not supposed to have, and caring about other people is how you get a knife in between your shoulders, but I don't care. The teachings of the Spider Queen are the reason that my other brother is dead, and her teachings would have me kill Resh too, and I won't do that.
and at that, he'll look back to Resh without looking at you again. He will very suddenly reach for something at his side.
Goodbye.
And
Goodbye, thank you forever.
Bye.
before you realize what's going on, you just feel cold steel pressed against your neck.
Oh,
As the rest of the party, you will now see that Veyron holds a dagger at Narshellis' neck. And the entire moment, he's fixated on Resh, who is looking back to Veyron with a rather intense stare with his crimson gaze. And Veyron will say,
You really care for your theft-troll brother.
and Resh seems to hesitate for a very brief second and bows his head as he says, even if the rest of Lothite society deems me weak, my answer is yes.
Narshellis has his eyes very tightly closed.
Oh.
And Veyron continues to hold the dagger there, as he'll then turn his gaze over to Arca. And he'll say,
Why is it you travel with my kin, Erakoka?
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
Shoot.
because he's a friend, because he's sacrificed much for our sake.
and he just seems to give a small hum for a moment before he'll turn his gaze to Yavari.
And you, tiefling?
Narshellis has done more for the people than most would do with their little finger. Or there's there's another way to say that. I can't say it right now. It is almost 4 a.m.
It's okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I tried to say it cool, but I'm not.
You're good. You're fantastic.
Thank you.
And then he looks from Yavari to Aoife.
And what of you, human? We have done countless tragedies to your people, and yet here you stand.
Uh-oh.
We.
Santa?
Oh, I'm here. I'm here. I'm thinking. Oh
No,
god.
you're fine. You're okay.
And we have also done countless tragedies to your. If my presence can help balance the scales, then I'll do what I can.
And then he will look
No.
from Aoife to Taffy.
This poor cat's trying to fuse with the rock right now.
He really is. But no, Veyron just looks you down. He'll say,
That's a totally different voice.
"Oh shit! Oh,
He
it's
is
somehow
not happy
the
with
other
Taffy.
That's terrifying.
I don't know what Taffy did, but shit.
I'm sorry. Okay, let me try it again. Okay, then he will say,
And you, Tabaxi.
That's so completely different.
"Oh, I'm so
I think that's
sorry."
not
That's why we
fair.
understood.
Just
we
pretend.
understood
Just
what he
pretend.
said.
Just
We
pretend it's fine.
understood. It's via me.
Oh, jeez. Taffy, he squeaks, clears his throat. Like, And he just blurts out, like, because you help people who need help. That's what you do when people need help. And he sounds
Aw.
really silly. What, talking in circles right now, but he's like, we were better than we are yesterday. That's, sometimes people just need help.
This baby.
Baby.
And that's about the only sentence he can spurt out.
I'm so confused. Okay,
Sorry, I just
Enough.
sent Starion the word daddy.
yeah.
Mask Daddy's about the
Yeah. Daddy's mad.
Daddy's mad.
Oh.
And then he'll look from Taffy to Ari. And he'll say,
Uh-oh.
And what of you, Wood Elf?
then Ari is very clearly just as nervous as anyone else. But he will say, well, as others have said, Narcellus has done many things for us, and much more than I'd expect anyone to do for even their closest friends or family. And, he's become one of my closest friends. I wouldn't abandon him.
Oh.
And Veyron at that, having heard from everyone in the party, lowers the dagger away from Narcellus's neck, tucks it back away into his armor.
He hasn't been breathing for like a minute and a half, and you just hear this like,
This poor boy. And Veyron will look back down at you, Narcellus. His green eyes still very intense from behind his mask. And you see both of his hands reach up to what appears to be a cloak that he's wearing.
oh, he's gonna slap the shit out of me with it. I can feel it.
Oh my god. But he reaches up to unclasp it from around his shoulders, and he will hold it in both of his hands and then holds it out to you, as he will say,
This cloak is made out of chiroptera fibers. This should be more than enough for Balor to repair the barrier.
Thank you. You just kind of take it between his fingers very awkwardly for a moment. He's like, I didn't mean what I said. I did not accept whatever this supposed blessing from Loth is willing me.
That much I understand.
He's getting more and more demonic.
It's just getting angrier and angrier.
Sorry, I'm trying. I was trying to fix it.
No, you're
It
good.
was too high.
No, this is
Okay.
perfect. This is hilarious.
This is so deep.
No.
He's trying to
No.
appeal to humans from the beginning, and now he's just like, I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, for real.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. No, it's okay.
Fine.
You're fine.
Seriously.
Okay. So, with that handed over to you, you'll see that, Veyron almost kind of leans over a little towards you, Narcellus, almost as if trying to stare into your very soul with his rather intent gaze. And he will say,
If you are not a child of love, then perhaps you and I can work together on something.
Ooh.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
what?
He's so stupid.
Oh no.
Just
Oh.
Don't take me to jail.
I'm assuming you don't mean like collaborating on a potion.
You see his eyes flicker briefly to blue before returning back to their very
Hey guys, I made the therapist laugh.
I'm gonna get an A.
before returning to their very sharp green. As he will say,
Considering the rather unique situation you are in, I believe that I could help you if you, in return, will help me.
Okay. How exactly are we helping each other?
and at this point, for the rest of you, you do not hear this conversation.
Oh.
As for Narcellus, you may not notice it right away, but your party members all seem to have been frozen in place. As if time has kind of stopped, other than for you and Veyron.
This is fantastic. Now when he kills me, they won't know. Yeah.
You just poof, disappear. It's like, oh.
And Veyron will say,
I have been attempting to discover what my mother has been up to recently, but
and he kind of gestures at the silver blood that's splattered across most of his torso.
I suffered heavy wounds in the demon web pit where she resides. But you could keep a far closer eye on her than I could ever hope to do.
You want me to spy on the Spider Queen?
I more so want you to allow me to listen in while pretending as if you are accepting of what she wants.
Fantastic. And there's just one problem. If I accept what she wants, this thing, he's going to look down at the crystal in his hand. It's already up to my shoulder. Eventually, it's going to climb all over me and get inside of me, and then I'm going to be half drow, half rock.
And at that, he kind of, holds out one arm and kind of gestures to the space around you as he says,
My magic is able to keep her at bay. Should you accept my offer, I can at least hold her back as much as I am able to.
And at this point, he kind of looks over and he realizes that no one's moving and hasn't moved and no one's breathing. And he's just kind of like, oh, God.
Oh, God.
And Not that I am snubbing your offer or disrespecting you. I'm simply asking, what if I don't accept your offer?
And you see his eyes have once more shifted to blue, as he'll say,
If you do not, I cannot guarantee all of your friends will make it out of here in one piece.
Ah,
That's charming.
Oh,
Anyway, y'all the boss. Hi, what's up?
I don't have much of a choice than to accept your offer. And he'll just kind of look toward the group again. And just say under his breath, like, the shit I do. All of you.
oh.
So, what do I have to do? I mean, is there like some kind of a ritualistic dance? Do I have to like, I don't know, cut off a spider's leg and wave it around at the moon?
and you'll see for a brief moment his eyes flicker to near red, though
Oh.
eventually settle upon a shade of brilliant gold. And he'll just say,
First, I would have you hold out your weapon.
Okay. I'm going to reach over onto his side and pull out the whip that he's been using.
and at the same time, Veyron will withdraw the dagger that he had earlier held to your neck. And he will say,
Our pact is one that is to be made in blood.
Okay.
Hold out your other hand.
The one with the crystal in it?
Yes.
Okay. We'll just slowly, hesitantly glancing back at the party, wondering if it's worth it, hold out his other hand.
and Veyron will move it somewhat to ensure that your hand is held above your whip. And he'll say,
From what I understand, you still require an uncharged anima crystal. Is that correct?
Now we can read thoughts. That's fantastic. Yes, we still need an uncharged crystal.
I'm not reading your thoughts.
and you'll see he seems to be thoughtful for a moment before he'll say,
This will hurt a lot.
and
It did the first time, don't worry.
before you have a chance to perhaps draw your hand back or change your mind, Veyron grabs your wrist with his free hand and plunges his dagger in with the other. Not really plunges, but cuts into you with the dagger. And I don't.
Oh,
It's not pleasant. This hurts. This fucking hurts, man. As he will cut into your hand around the large amulet that is in the center of your hand. And
you can't see the face I'm making, but it's icky.
It's icky.
this pain is probably about as bad as when it was first put into you 5 years ago.
He's screaming. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I believe it. So Narcellus, you scream. Of course, the rest of the party, you have
Yeah.
no idea this is going on. Unfortunately. God, love how Veyron works. And eventually, though it feels like an eternity, and yet perhaps all at once, Veyron has cut free the amulet that was in the center of your hand.
Ooh.
So there's just a big hole in my hand.
Yeah, there sure
Oh my
is.
god.
Excellent.
Oh god.
Fantastic.
And like
We
once
can
it's
just put a
out,
Band-Aid over it.
once it's out, he will literally collapse, like onto his knees.
And as he had carved this out of you, almost all of your blood now has dripped over the whip held in your other hand. And as you collapse down onto your knees, he takes his dagger to slice into his own palm and will allow it to spill onto your whip from where it's fallen now into the ground beside you. And though you may not see it now, it begins to give off an almost black aura as his blood mixes with yours, as though it is cloaked in darkness. He kneels down beside you, and you will hear him say, hold on.
My power shall reside within your weapon, and you may call upon me in your dream state when you sleep.
No. You're an arm.
Yeah.
No sleep, besties.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah!
Woo!
That some of the energy drink coffee wasn't such a bad idea anymore.
No, it wasn't.
And he will continue as he says, hold on. As he holds out his now bleeding hand out to you. And will say,
It is odd that someone else in your party seems to have a similar bond with another demiurge, but I don't think they know it yet.
I didn't ask for this.
He'll just
Oh,
look
no.
at the hand offered to him and shakingly, I mean, he's trembling from just the pain and blood loss. Will reach up and you'll hear just this like, ah, as he like closes his hand around Veyron's.
and Veyron will hold on to it rather tightly as he'll say,
Our pact is made. Oh, one last thing, Marcellus.
Yeah.
While you go upon the surface, I will expect you to
God, how do I word this?
I will expect your mind to be one as if a follower, to worship as one of my own.
Okay. Kind of already was.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes.
And I expect that you, as my worshippers, do spread our superiority through the suffering of surface dwellers, though I suppose you can leave your friends out of it.
Alright.
and avoid conflict with other drow. Except for lull fights, they should be dealt with in any means necessary.
Got it.
And while you and your little friends frolic upon the surface,
Frolic.
And at this point, he will let go of your hand, and
Oh,
he will
thank God.
rise. He will rise back up onto his feet. He'll say,
do perhaps keep an eye out for my sister. She has been gone for quite some time.
And astray.
Yes.
Okay.
and with that, he sort of looks at you for a very long moment, his golden eyes almost kind of gleaming from behind his mask, almost in delight of some sort. And then he will sort of, seems as if the darkness swells around him almost like a cloud, and he will vanish away into the darkness, leaving behind what appears to be a shimmering sort of circle that you can't see anything in it other than just the glow of anima. And as for the rest of the party, for you, Narcellus, now at this point, everyone will unfreeze. And for the rest of the party, the last thing you saw was Veyron saying that he had, he wanted to work together with Narcellus on something, and then all of a sudden, from your perspectives, he vanished. And a portal has sprung up now, as Narcellus is now down on his knees.
Taffy's gonna immediately run up and well, okay, maybe not run up because he's still like looking around, but like now that the spooky god is gone, he's gonna kind of like, scoot along the wall and like go over to check on Narcellus.
Narcellus at this point just gives this like, fuck! And he's like cradling his hand very tightly to his chest.
Are you okay? Oh,
Does it look like I'm okay? And he just holds it out for Taffy to see. And there's a hole going clean from one side to the other.
whoa! Can somebody heal him,
like-
please?
Bernard!
Ari is already at Narcellus's side, and he'll say, What? And he's already like, shakes his head and decides to instead cast his invocation, quickly whispering under his breath to cast Prayer of Healing. So you get Healy's. Let me see how much he does. Fantastic. That's like what, 11, I think, altogether.
6 whole healing. Okay, 11. Thanks.
Or no, hold on. It's 7.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. He's using this at 3rd level, so I'm rolling one more d8. Hold on. He's freaking the fuck out. All right, you get 12. So that's probably
Okay.
about enough that most of your hand at least heals itself back together, so you don't have a hole going through it from one side to the other. But the pain is still there, and there's just still a fair amount of blood.
You guys are not gonna believe a goddamn thing I tell you.
I think we literally just saw
What happened?
God. We'll believe almost anything you tell us.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, one moment he was there, and then he's gone.
I hate all of you.
What?
Well, did he punish you for bringing us here?
I had to make a deal with him to make sure he didn't kill you.
Oh,
What?
shit.
Shannis.
Okay, fine. Would you like me to ask him to come back, put the crystal
No.
back in my hand, and kill you?
What?
No. But
What? Arthur?
what deal? Or, well, I suppose probably can't say it.
It doesn't matter. I already said yes.
Fair enough. Would you like a health potion?
No, I'll be okay. Taffy.
Yeah?
By the way, before I talk to Taffy, can I start out,
Hmm.
do I feel anything? Like, in terms of, like, the pact, or...
So, as Veyron vanishes,
You regret asking that, but okay.
you do kind of feel like kind of this chill kind of run down your spine, as if everything just seems a lot colder than it was before. And you also realize, though you're not entirely sure if it's from blood loss or the pain, that there's almost a sort of like darkness clouding the edges of your vision. And other than the pain that you are in, nothing else seems to really be affecting you at the moment.
Okay. And then he'll blink his eyes a few times to see if that kind of helps, and turn towards Taffy and say, remember that thing that you talked to me about?
Oh.
Thing about you sleeping.
Yeah?
I think you and I are gonna have to talk.
And that's not great. He looks like he's about to fall over. Because this just got connected to another actual, like, it's not just a dream anymore. And he's like, he stumbles back a little bit. Ooh. He almost asks a question and then he thinks better of it for the moment. And he just says, yeah, okay. We should get out of here.
Yeah. Rush.
Resh quickly kneels down next to you, and you can see, if you glance up at his face, that he has a very clear look of concern.
And he'll lean into Resh and kind of just whisper, just for him to hear. And I'll send that to you.
Okay. And you'll see his eyebrows kind of furrow a little deeper. And he'll just say, let's just get you and everyone else out of here.
I think he left behind a portal.
And Rush will nod and very carefully help you back up onto your feet. And indeed, there is now a portal that's shimmering before you all where Veyron had been standing prior.
Marcellus will also hold out the Chiroptera cloak to Taffy.
Oh, he'll take it and he's like, "What did he give you this?"
Yeah, it's the bat leather.
Oh.
Also, he'll lean down, holding onto Resh, and scoop up the discarded anima shard with his skin around it.
Ooh.
And just saying,
and
also the discharged anima crystal.
And sure enough, though most of the crystal is covered in blood and viscera, you do see that rather than the purple color it once held, it is now completely gray and without any light coming out of it.
He just kind of holds it out, seeing if Arca or Taffy or Aoife is gonna take it.
If no one else moves to take it.
Well, Arca will go ahead and take it
Okay.
and look very apologetic about what Nichelle's had to go through to get this shard.
Can you all take a small step back? I have to do something before I scream.
And Taffy he'll fold the cloak away, put it in his inventory.
Rochelle is just going to cast Prestidigitation to get all of the nastiness and blood and viscera off of him.
Excellent. You do so.
The real reason Valor
Drow's chest nasty.
Yeah.
No.
We're really going to need to get all of this to Valor.
It's and then I don't know, so Resh has is helping Narcellus, right?
Yeah, Rush kind of has him up and leaning against him at the moment.
He will also assist on the opposite side of Resh to sort of help Narcellus along.
What a good baby.
I can't wait till he breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he'll just be like, we really should get out of here. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to take the portal back and probably either spit us out somewhere in the Nightlands, or maybe he's nice enough to give us a lift back to Mithrandir.
Oh, please be the latter.
I don't know, his eyes turned gold. I think that's a good thing.
Hey.
I'm really dizzy.
Oh, don't worry, buddy. We'll get you back. We'll just get you back. And we'll be, and Taffy's moving towards the portal at this point.
I just want to go back to Resh's Manor and go to bed and not be bothered by anything.
Okay, well, just stay awake for a little bit longer, okay?
Yep, not a problem.
And, excellent. Then, before you all go through the portal, is there, I guess, Aoife, Arcas, or anything either of you would like to say or do, just to touch base with y'all before you leave?
No, Aoife's ready to get the hell out of here.
I don't blame her. Alright, so eventually, slowly, you all make your way through the portal, stepping into the shimmery anima that has appeared before you. And surely enough, as you step through and the light fades away, rather than finding yourselves back at the vaults of glittering night, you instead find yourselves in the city of Mithrandir.
Wow, he wasn't as big of an asshole as he could have been.
Thank you, Lord of Veron.
And as you step through the portal, you all feel suddenly rejuvenated and suddenly filled with more energy than you had before. And just for the sake of saying this, kind of out of character, you basically gained the benefits of a long rest.
This is the you're about to have to go through a gauntlet. Here you go.
And for you in particular, Narcellus, you do feel a lot better, and now as you appear in Mithrandir, it seems that at least the wound on your hand now is closed, though now you're left with fairly nasty scarring. And it still aches, but at least the pain is bearable now.
Mm-hmm.
And the darkness that was at the edge of your vision still persists.
Fantastic.
Oof.
And as you all step through the portal back to Mithrandir, thinking are now only on your minds to get back to Resh's Manor to get some rest. You notice first that there's no fate going on now. The normally crowded streets that were lined with vendors prior seem to have returned back to their normal state as Mithranve usually is. There's no sparkling lights in the sky, there's no performers, there's no sense of food and incense and things of that nature. And while there may not be anything sparkling in the sky thanks to dancing lights, there is something flying through the sky.
Oh no!
And
can Narshalis
yeah.
just say something?
Sure.
He's just gonna look at Taffy, and he's just gonna go, "You've got to be fucking kidding me."
Taffy's mouth is just agape as he's staring at this giant flying thing.
And you see, flying over you and landing roughly down upon a rooftop a few streets down to give a loud roar, is a large purple dragon. And you see skittering across rooftops both spiders and driders.
I want to die.
God fucking damn it.
And all you can hear in the background is the sound of screaming, the sound of spells being cast, of battle being waged. And that's where we're going to end our session for tonight. Oh. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Good thing we
man.
got that long rest.
Yeah.
But we
You're
did the
gonna
dungeon,
need it.
and now we gotta do the dragon. It's how it works.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. But yes, I apologize. This kind of went on for a long time tonight, but thank y'all for sticking it out. I appreciate it.
So
thank
many
you.
perception checks.
So many. And thank you also to everyone in chat for joining us tonight. Always
Yeah.
great having you here. And yeah, that'll be it for us tonight. So we'll see you all next week. So we'll see what happens as we perhaps take on the very first dragon of Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh
Uh-huh.
god.
We found the dragon.
We found the dragon, guys.
Yep.
There it is. It's
We sure
it's
did.
dragon
There it
time.
Hmm.
Oh. Alrighty, well I will talk
Alright.
to you all next weekend.
Sounds good. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Please
Bye-bye.
go.
You as well.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Oh. Well, that's probably not going to be great. It's Taffy's. I wonder. I need to talk to Starion because he's. I don't know if he got dried or not. Because if he's not, he gets electrocuted. That's gonna be funny. Man, we just can't catch a break. We're gonna die, or we're gonna somehow. Wait. Wonder if I can like throw the gray gelatinous cube into the dragon's mouth. That'd be great. That'd be hilarious. Oh, but I hope you all had a fantastic time. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will see all of you Monday, most likely. But until then, take it easy and stay safe out there in those Fey wilds.